aliens disclosure. UFO 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 aliens disclosure. Let's go.
Okay, so let's dive into all these Bigfoot sightings popping up all over TikTok. Every time I scroll through, it seems like there's another one.
Yeah.
Another blurry video of something lurking in the woods. Today, we're going deep into the whole Bigfoot thing, trying to figure out what's real and what's not.
Right.
We've got a ton of research piled up here. Articles, interviews with researchers, even some old historical stuff about Sasquatch, you know, the Native American name for Bigfoot.
It goes way back.
For sure. What we're trying to do today is sort through all the hype.
Right.
And see if there's anything really there.
You know, what's really fascinating is that Bigfoot really gets to something primal, you know?
Totally.
It's a global phenomenon, this idea of a large, hairy creature hiding just out of reach of civilization. Speaks to our deepest fears, you know, and fascinations. But the North American version is particularly interesting.
It really is. Like, we have this whole festival dedicated to Bigfoot in Oklahoma, the Honobia Bigfoot Festival. People come from all over. They celebrate this creature.
Wow.
That might not even exist. Bigfoot's like a pop culture icon, right? But why? What is it about Bigfoot that's so captivating?
Well, think about it. What draws you in? What draws anyone in to a good mystery?
The unknown.
Exactly. It's that thrill of the unknown, the possibility that there's still something out there that we can't explain. And Bigfoot represents that perfectly.
Absolutely. And now with TikTok, all these blurry sightings are adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Like, there's this one video by Todd Standing, he's a Bigfoot researcher, who claims to have actually filmed one.
Oh, wow.
This massive figure moving behind some trees. I mean, whether it's real or not.
Right.
That video has sparked a huge online debate.
Oh, I bet. And that debate itself is actually pretty interesting.
How so?
Well, what's really intriguing about this whole surge in TikTok sightings isn't just the content itself, it's the way it's changing how we think about evidence. Think about it. With everyone able to manipulate videos and pictures so easily, how can we tell what's real anymore?
Makes you question everything.
It does.
Right. Take that other video that went viral, the one from Oklahoma's Parallel Forest, a place that's already famous for Bigfoot stories.
I've heard of that place.
This video shows a shadowy figure moving through the trees. Got millions of views. Some people are convinced it's Bigfoot. Others say it's just a prank.
Right, right.
Honestly, it's tough to say.
Yeah, the Parallel Forest video is a great example of how, you know, you take a blurry image,
Right.
add some context, throw in some internet hype, and boom, it captures everyone's imagination. We tend to see what we want to see.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to things like Bigfoot.
For sure. And then there's that video by @Emin580 on TikTok. This guy says he had a close encounter.
Oh, wow.
The footage looks like it shows a close-up of Bigfoot's face.
Yeah.
Really controversial.
You know, that I'm580 video is interesting because it makes you wonder, how much does the quality of the footage affect whether we believe it or not? Like, does a close-up,
Even if it's fake.
even if it's fake, make it feel more real? It really plays with our minds, you know?
It does. And it kind of leads into this whole new thing popping up on TikTok.
What's that?
Bigfoot abductions. People are talking about encounters that feel like they were being targeted by Bigfoot, not just seeing it from a distance.
So they're saying they're not just catching glimpses, but they're actually being, like, hunted or something.
Yeah. They describe being chased or cornered while they're out hiking alone,
Wow.
feeling like they're being hunted.
That's scary.
And some people are even claiming they lost track of time or felt disoriented.
Like in those alien abduction stories.
Exactly. It adds a whole new dimension to this whole thing.
It's fascinating, really. This whole Bigfoot abduction idea.
Yeah.
It kind of blends the cryptozoology with the paranormal. It taps into those primal fears, you know? And it connects to all those other popular stories about the unexplained.
Of course, with all this buzz, there are going to be skeptics too. What are they saying about all this Bigfoot stuff on TikTok?
Well, a lot of scientists and researchers are understandably skeptical. The main argument is that many of these sightings, especially on TikTok, are probably hoaxes or cases of mistaken identity.
So people are either trying to pull a fast one, or they see a bear in the woods.
Could be.
And their imagination runs wild.
Exactly. I mean, think about why people post on TikTok. It's often about getting views, going viral.
The whole internet fame thing?
Yeah, exactly.
So even if someone thinks they saw Bigfoot, they might exaggerate or even lie to get more attention online.
It's possible. And even without deliberate deception, our brains are always looking for patterns,
Right.
trying to make sense of things. So you see a blurry shape in the woods,
Yeah.
you already think it might be Bigfoot? Well,
Your mind fills in the blanks.
it's easy to jump to conclusions.
Okay, so we've got blurry videos, alleged abductions,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of skepticism. Where do we go from here? What's the next layer to this mystery?
Well, this is where it gets interesting, because there's no hard evidence.
Right.
Some people believe there's a reason why we haven't found Bigfoot,
Okay.
a more deliberate reason. And that's where the conspiracy theories come in.
Hold on. Conspiracy theories. Now you got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of conspiracies are we talking about?
Well, one of the most common is this idea that government agencies know about Bigfoot,
What do they do?
but they're hiding it from the public. They say officials are worried about the chaos that would happen.
If everyone knew the truth,
Exactly.
the government's hiding Bigfoot. This is like something out of the X-Files. Okay, I'm hooked. What's the reason? What's the motive for covering it up?
There are all sorts of theories. Some say they're worried about ecological disruption.
Okay.
Others say they're afraid established scientific ideas would fall apart.
Right.
Some even say Bigfoot has some advanced technology or knowledge that they want to keep secret.
So it's all about control, maintaining the status quo and preventing mass panic.
That's one way to look at it. But remember, these are just theories.
Of course.
No real proof to back them up. But just the idea of a government cover-up,
Yeah.
it makes the whole Bigfoot thing even more mysterious.
It's like this giant puzzle with missing pieces, and people are trying to fill in the gaps with whatever explanation makes sense to them.
Exactly. And that leads to another interesting aspect.
What's that?
Bigfoot's connection to the paranormal.
Wait, paranormal? Now we're getting into some really uncharted territory.
We are. Some researchers and enthusiasts think Bigfoot might not be just a physical creature, but a paranormal entity.
So we're talking about ghosts, spirits, interdimensional beings. Now things are getting interesting.
This perspective suggests that Bigfoot might have abilities that go beyond what we understand scientifically.
Okay.
It could explain why it's been so elusive,
Right.
why sightings are often accompanied by strange phenomena.
So instead of looking for footprints and hair samples,
Yeah.
we should be looking for electromagnetic disturbances,
Maybe.
psychic phenomena, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. It requires a whole new way of thinking about research and investigation. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Wow. Well, I think we need a minute to process all this. We've gone from TikTok sightings to government conspiracies to the paranormal. This deep dive is getting deeper by the minute. We'll be back soon to explore the fascinating world of Bigfoot. Stick with us.
Looking forward to it.
Ever feel like there's more to the universe than meets the eye? At UFO Deep Dive, we're as curious as you are. From hidden government files to stories of alien contact, we explore the questions that others are afraid to ask. Tune in on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and discover a new layer of reality each week. Curiosity is calling. Are you ready to answer?
Hey there, mystery lover. Ever find yourself scrolling through TikTok, fascinated by stories of UFOs, cryptids, and otherworldly encounters? If so, UFO Deep Dive is the podcast for you. Each episode takes you beyond the hashtags and viral videos to the heart of real-world mysteries and extraterrestrial phenomena. We dive deep into whistleblower stories, alien races, and the hidden history they don't want you to know. Catch us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and let's explore the unexplained together.
And we're back, diving deeper into this link between Bigfoot and the paranormal.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, to be honest.
It's a big concept.
It is. So how do we even start to unravel this connection? What makes people think Bigfoot's more than just a flesh and blood creature?
A lot of people who say they've encountered Bigfoot also report these strange phenomena, things that are hard to explain.
Okay.
Like, some describe this sudden feeling of intense cold, like a cold spot passing right through them.
Like a ghost. That's spooky. Are there any other things people commonly experience during these paranormal Bigfoot encounters?
Another thing that comes up a lot is electronic devices going haywire. growing. Batteries drain super fast, cameras glitch out, compasses spin like crazy, the kinds of things you hear about with paranormal investigations.
So Bigfoot is somehow messing with the electromagnetic field? Or maybe even messing with our tech directly?
That's one theory that some researchers are looking into.
That's wild. What about those orbs of light that people sometimes see with Bigfoot? Are those connected, or is that something else entirely?
Yeah, orbs. Those are interesting.
They are.
They're often described as glowing balls of light, moving around in weird ways, even appearing and disappearing.
Yeah.
Whether they're directly related to Bigfoot or just happen to be in the same places, well, no one really knows.
It's like a 2-for-1 mystery. Unexplained lights. Things are getting interesting.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity.
It does. So if Bigfoot is paranormal, does that change how we think about it? How do we even research and investigate something like that?
Well, if we're dealing with something that has supernatural abilities, or interdimensional abilities, traditional tracking and observation might not cut it.
Right, so instead of footprints and hair samples,
Yeah.
we'd be using EMF readers and EVP recorders, things like that.
Exactly. It calls for a different approach, combining zoology and anthropology
Right.
with, parapsychology, open-mindedness, and investigative techniques from that field.
I bet that's pretty controversial, both for scientists and for people who study the paranormal.
Definitely. But that's what makes it so interesting.
How so?
It forces us to broaden our understanding of what's possible. We have to consider ideas that might have been dismissed in the past.
It's like we're on the verge of a whole new way of looking at the world
It is.
and everything in it.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of the Bigfoot phenomenon. It keeps us curious, it sparks our imagination,
It does.
and it makes us question what we think we know.
Well said. Okay, let's get back to those Bigfoot abductions we were talking about.
Yes.
The idea of being taken by something unknown is terrifying.
Yeah.
But are these stories believable, or are they just tall tales?
That's a good question.
It is.
Yeah.
How do we tell the difference between a real experience and, a made-up story? What are some warning signs?
Well, inconsistencies are a big red flag. If the details of a story keep changing,
Right.
or if it seems too sensational, too over the top,
Yeah.
we should be careful.
Got it.
And we need to look at the source. Are they credible? Do they have a history of making similar claims?
So we need to use our critical thinking skills.
Absolutely.
Look for patterns, corroborating evidence, anything that suggests a story is reliable before we jump to conclusions.
Exactly. We can't just accept every claim at face value.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the paranormal. It's easy to let imagination and belief cloud our judgment.
It is. Okay, this might be a tough one to answer, but is there any chance, even a small one, that some of these abduction stories could be real?
It's possible, but incredibly difficult to prove.
Right.
We know so little about Bigfoot. If it exists,
Yeah.
If it has some advanced technology or paranormal abilities, who's to say it couldn't influence our perception, maybe even manipulate time and space?
Now we're getting into some real science fiction territory, but I have to admit, the possibilities are fascinating.
That's what keeps the Bigfoot mystery so compelling.
It does.
It's a puzzle we might never solve,
Mhm.
but the search for answers takes us to some pretty intriguing places.
Before we get too lost in those places, let's talk about those government cover-up theories.
Yeah, those are always fun.
It's like something out of a spy movie.
It's a popular theme in conspiracy theories. Bigfoot is no exception.
What's the theory? What's the government hiding and why?
Well, there are a lot of different versions.
Right?
But the common theme is that government agencies know Bigfoot exists,
Yeah.
and they're actively working to keep it secret. Some say they're worried about mass panic, or that it would disrupt society and science as we know it.
Like the truth is out there, but someone's trying to bury it.
Exactly. And this idea is often supported by stories of Bigfoot researchers being harassed or having their evidence taken by government agents.
Wow. That's like something out of the X-Files. Are there any specific cases that stand out? Any potential proof of a cover-up?
There are a bunch of alleged incidents that have been circulating for years. One of the most famous involves a supposed military encounter with a Bigfoot back in the 70s.
Okay.
They supposedly captured it and took it to a secret location.
Wait, they captured a Bigfoot. What happened to it? Did they, dissect it or study it? Or lock it up somewhere?
That's the big mystery. The details are really fuzzy and there's no real evidence to back it up. But stories like this, they fuel the belief that the government knows more than they're letting on.
I can see how those stories would be compelling.
Yeah.
Especially for people who already believe in Bigfoot.
It's validation. It confirms that something is being hidden.
It does.
But remember, just because we don't have evidence doesn't mean something isn't happening. It's possible, but we need to be skeptical.
Right.
Think critically when we're looking at these claims.
It's a tough balance.
Yeah.
Staying curious and open-minded, but also being careful not to fall for misinformation.
Absolutely. Critical thinking is key. We need to examine the evidence, consider different perspectives, and ask the tough questions.
Okay, we're almost at the end of our Bigfoot deep dive. But before we wrap up, I have to ask you something personal.
Okay.
With all this evidence, all these theories, the paranormal stuff, the cover-ups, do you believe in Bigfoot?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
There's no easy answer. As a researcher, I try to follow the evidence, but I also stay open to all the possibilities.
So you're not ruling it out completely.
Yeah.
You still think it's possible Bigfoot's out there hiding somewhere.
Of course. The Bigfoot mystery still fascinates me. As long as we have credible reports and unexplained events, I think it's worth investigating.
I love that. We need more researchers like you willing to explore the unknown and challenge conventional thinking.
Who knows, maybe someday we'll finally have the answer to the big question, is Bigfoot real?
That would be incredible. But for now, the mystery continues. We'll be back after a short break to wrap up our Bigfoot deep dive. Stay with us.
Feeling brave? UFO Deep Dive isn't just another podcast. It's a journey into the shadows. With stories of mysterious sightings, extraterrestrial encounters, and conspiracy theories, we explore the darker side of reality. Tune in if you dare. Available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Are we alone in the universe? If you've ever pondered this question, UFO Deep Dive has the answers, or at least the theories. Join us as we explore extraterrestrial encounters, secret government files, and the mysteries hidden in plain sight. From the curious to the unbelievable, we dive into the stories that stretch our understanding of reality. Listen now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. UFO Deep Dive. Let's journey into the unknown together.
We're back for the final part of our Bigfoot deep dive. What a journey.
It has been. TikTok sightings, abductions,
Government conspiracies.
even the paranormal.
It's incredible how much mystery and debate there is around Bigfoot. But that's the power of the unknown, right? It makes us curious, makes us question what we think we know.
It challenges our assumptions. It makes us think about things from different perspectives.
It does. It makes you wonder, why Bigfoot? Why not some other mythical creature? What is it about this hairy giant that's captured our imagination for so long?
Maybe it's because, Bigfoot is relatable in a way, a primal way.
How so?
We've all felt that feeling of being watched in the woods, right?
Yeah.
That sense of unease when you're alone in nature. Bigfoot embodies those fears, amplifies them.
It does.
It creates this story that speaks to our deepest instincts.
So as we wrap up, let's bring it back to you, the listener. What's stood out to you the most in our exploration of Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Are you leaning towards the skeptical view?
Seeing these sightings as hoaxes or misinterpretations?
Or are you more open to the possibility that there's something more mysterious going on, something that challenges our understanding of the natural world, maybe even our place in it?
Even if you're skeptical,
Yeah,
you can't deny the appeal of the unknown.
I agree.
Bigfoot represents that sense of wonder and awe that we often lose sight of, in our busy lives.
Absolutely.
It reminds us there's still so much we don't know about the world around us.
For sure. And that there might be forces at work that we just don't understand yet.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we close out our Bigfoot deep dive, here's a final thought for you.
If Bigfoot does exist, what does that mean for us? For humanity?
Right.
Does it change our understanding of evolution, of biology, even of consciousness itself? These are questions worth thinking about, even if we never find the answers.
They are. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the mystery of Bigfoot.
Keep exploring, stay curious, and keep an open mind. There's still so much out there to discover.
UFO alien disclosure. UFO alien disclosure. UFO alien disclosure. UFO alien disclosure. Let's go.